I can already tell I'm going to love this. Like the nostalgia just hits you in the face like a shovel. Just the small details, like you think that it's Dumbledore who's picking up Remus from the shelter, but you're not quite really sure. And then you read the Half Moon Spectacles and you're like, yes, I knew it. I fucking knew it. The wave of emotions I'm already feeling. Like we're 5 pages in and you meet Sirius and then Lily and then Snape, who's already a bag of dicks, but for some reason I want to like him. And you're just about over that when you meet James. And then right behind him is that little fucking shithead Peter. And on one hand, you're so happy because you're like, yes, I get to see it again. And then an arrow flies through your heart when you remember, I know how all of this ends. I didn't think about this till now, but I have a problem with Peter being in Gryffindor. They're supposed to be brave and selfless, and we know that he's a certified little bitch. It's the end of year 1, and I would do anything to go to school with them. What this has nailed so perfectly so far, though, is what it's like to be that age. There's so much angst and anxiety about every little thing that's happening, and especially with Remus trying to fit in and be friends with him. Like, I remember the stupid shit I did in the 3rd grade. I'm right there with you, Lupin. Sirius knew all along he was a werewolf, and I fucking knew it, and he was hiding it because he's a good friend. I also know this is supposed to be canon compliant, and that confuses me, because at what point do James and Lily get together? Because one of them just called the other one a half-wit. And I don't know about any of you, but I wouldn't want to be married to a half-wit. Sirius just showed Lupin his scars and then confronted him about his reading, and I'm gonna be a shell of a human when this is done. I don't say this lightly, but James kind of comes off like a cock sometimes. Like, you don't always have to be in charge, okay? Like, it's okay that Remus is, and I know that that's how kids behave, but this is how I know I'm getting old, is I want to go back and be a teacher during that time just so I could hit him in the head. Like, it was the 70s, you could hit kids back then, everybody relax, but just like a light tap. Yeah. The chapter titled Sirius Returns has a trigger warning that says, this chapter is kind of a downer. The whole fucking thing is a downer. For some reason, that's why we're reading it. I want to know so much more about his dad, and I want to know why he doesn't want to know more about his dad. I'm waiting for him to ask questions when it is prompted. Like, he met that old guy at the Potter's house, didn't ask any questions. McGonagall just brought it up in her office, didn't ask any questions. Just like, God forbid, if I had a dead dad, I think I'd want to know some things. They've mentioned Voldemort. I don't know if the timelines with this stuff is accurate, but it's only their 3rd year of Voldemort. God, I love this fucking book. That's why Crookshanks didn't like Ron's rat. Crookshanks was part Kneasel, and Kneasels can tell if people are trustworthy. Did you guys know this shit this entire time? Or did this author just make that up? I can never tell with fanfiction what's made up and what was actually canon. That was an utterly ridiculous suggestion, especially when it was obvious to anyone with eyes that Sirius was the best looking boy in the year. I never look into these stories, so I don't know where this is headed, but I think I know where it's headed. Oh, Lily's horny for Remus. I don't like that. They're going to fight about it. I know they're going to fight about it. I also, because I'm pretty sure Remus is going to be gay in this story, am confused. Because, like, James wants Lily. Lily wants Remus. Remus wants, I'm pretty sure, Sirius. Sirius wants to not be a black. Nobody wants each other. Lupin has been made aware that he is a 5X creature, along with manticores and dragons, and I want him to tell the teacher about it. And I want them to be friends. It's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. They're going to turn into fucking animals. God damn, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. They want to be his furry friends. Not furries, not like that. That's not. Remus's dad had better have killed himself because he himself was bitten. If he did it because Remus was bitten, there will be blood in the streets. Remus always assumed it was guilt, but now he's wondering if it's because his dad hated him. I get Remus's feeling of being left out. We have all been there before. But what I don't get is how he hasn't caught on yet that every time he's left out of something, it's because they're planning shit for him. Like, don't be so sad. They're going to be animals with you. Professor Ferrix, or however you pronounce it, is the platonic love of my life. The first serious conversation he has with Lupin about what Lupin is, I could go run a marathon right now. It's midnight. It's just so many people care about Lupin, and Lupin doesn't know it. And he should know it, but that's also what abandonment issues are. God, the summer before 4th year, I have never been more stressed in my life. I'm not even a parent. This isn't even my kid. And I'm sitting here wondering, what if he gets caught? He's fighting with people. He's drinking and driving. He's stealing cars. He's breaking into places to steal cigarettes. Like, I want to have an intervention with this kid that doesn't even exist. He's going to throw away his whole future just because he's angry. And it's like, again, he's got people that care about him. Go talk to one of them. Come talk to me. Oh, God, it's just my heart can't take it. Nothing's even happened. I've already got tears in my eyes. Dumbledore's starting to recruit for his army, and I am not emotionally ready for this to go from like the kind of sad, angsty, youthful thing to the, really dark thing I know it's going to be. Oh my God. Remus almost told everyone he's a werewolf, and I'm pretty sure he came out to himself in his head. If this is the last we see of Professor Ferrix, I don't know if he's the best person in the book, but This is soul crushing. If the last line I hear from this guy is, hey, your dad would be proud, uh, that's how you introduce? I thought I'd get like an awkward moment or something. He just goes 0 to 100. He's just kissing guys now. I thought there would just be like a gradual ramp up, and it's just like basement, penthouse. You can't see my hand. It's up here. This was some kid named Grant? Why is it not Sirius? Who's this fucking Grant? If he treats him bad, I'm going to cut his dick off. Sirius would treat him better. This Grant bloke's actually all right. I thought we were going to get to see it first with Sirius. Like, I kind of thought they'd discover it together, but now it's like Remus discovered it. And so has Sirius also discovered it, or is Remus the one who introduces him to it? Yeah, Remus saw him on the train for the first time. Now it starts. Oh my God, and he's a prefect. What's happening? Things are happy right now. They're not supposed to be happy. Does this background look like I'm reading in prison? It's sad again. Is Regulus like a bad guy? Is he supposed to be a bad guy? I'm not involved in this world. I don't know his lore. But now every time we see him, he's a shithead. It's too much. It's too much information. It's all the things that are happening. And then they come in and tell him that they've just, oh, we're Animagus now. Use lube. Tell me, give me some indication it's coming. How do you guys read this shit in a day? I could withstand actual torture longer than I could read this. I have to take breaks. I'm not cut out for this. Oh, he's got friends. He's got friends. I hate that fucking rat bastard Peter, but when he's called Remus Brave, this is the meanest book I have ever read in my life. His family's torturing him? Seriously? 3 times. I cried 3 times on the chapter where Sirius was cursed and tortured. I happen to know there's a serious POV of this, and that sounds like a fucking war crime. See, and it's that same thing. It's like, I want to like Regulus so badly, but he does something good, he does something bad. He does something good, he does something bad. What the fuck? It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Sirius is gay, and he knows he's gay, and that's the tension between him and Mary. But they're both hiding it from society, but they're no longer hiding it from each other. See, this thing about this godforsaken book is that it's such a slow burn that when things happen, it's like a meteorite hits the earth. I don't know what to do with myself. I didn't finish the chapter though, so. And you know what? I thought Sirius was going to kiss him when he was like, Remus, have you ever kissed somebody before? I was like, I have seen this before. This is perks of being a wallflower. Oh, no. No. Mary's a beard. Too many fucking people are finding out about this werewolf thing. Severus and now Lily in the span of like a month. I don't know why I'm more worried about Lily knowing than I am Severus. I know it like remains a secret, but the only way to keep a secret between 2 people is to kill one of them. You know what I'm saying? All right, Grant's my new favorite. He's involved in a lot of sad shit, but really good guy. They finally talked about the kiss, and I did not like Sirius's reaction to that. It wasn't bad, but it was the type of thing you tell somebody when it's like, don't worry about tripping down the stairs. Nobody noticed. Like, no, motherfucker, you kissed him back. You liked it. Admit it. See, this is exactly what I mean about this goddamn book. It just goes 0 to 100. Sirius goes, he listened to music with Remus. He tells him that him and Mary have done it. He tells him they broke up. And then all of a sudden it's, pillow fight. What about me, though? What about my emotional stability in the ramp up to this scene? You didn't think about me for a fucking second. Sure as hell didn't think about me after, as Remus just ran off and was like, you're not going to tell anybody, are you? I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, we always knew about Christopher, but the Oscar Wilde comment, like, that's how you come out of the closet? Genius. However, I am not as worried as I thought I would be about this werewolf running around Hogsmeade and Remus wanting to meet her. I don't know, even if they're a murderous psychopath, I kind of want Remus to meet another one. Rather selfish of me, I suppose. Oh shit, she's behind him. There is so much happening, all right? Remus met the lady, and then the lady tried to persuade him, and she could apparently just make him freeze and give him commands. And then Varric showed up and hit her with some silver chains and then said thank you to Aberforth, who was apparently Dumbledore's brother. And I don't have anything else to add to that. I am just shooketh. You can tell this fanfiction is canon because Dumbledore is just as aloof and holds just as many secrets as he does in the books. He has all of the information, and he doesn't tell anybody a goddamn thing. Hey, Dumbledore, this lady could do like wandless magic and wordless magic, and yeah, that's normal. Don't worry about it. Oh my God, Remus had sex with a woman. There's a number of things I don't love about this. One of them is the term Mary's soft jelly breasts. Just don't think the word jelly was useful there. But more than that, I always kind of assumed that Sirius was bi, and so that's why he was doing it, because he was really conflicted about the other part. Remus, on the other hand, 100% gay, which means the only reason he's doing this is pettiness? No, pettiness isn't the right word, but I don't love it. It's supposed to be serious and only serious. 50% check-in, and I don't know what to do with myself. There's so many moving pieces of this story between the relationships of all of the marauders, the sexual relationships between some of the marauders, the war that's going on, all of the parents. This has nothing to do with anything, but I know that Harry doesn't have grandparents in the original story, which means that at some point, James' parents are gonna die. It's 50% in, we're nearing the end of 6th year, which means that 50% of this book is 7th year and beyond? Like 40% of this book is gonna be the war? I don't want that. I can't handle that. I don't know a lot going into these things. I don't know anything about how this story ends or how many years it goes on. What's the deal with Snape? When do Lily and James get together? Fucking Aberforth? Is he just around all the time? Ferrex though, like God, I love that man so much and I really wish he was in the story more. Regulus is more and more of a shithead. Dumbledore's the secret keeper of the universe. And Sirius has no idea if he likes men or women or both. And it all circles around my emotions. They can't get it together and I'm the one that suffers. And ultimately what I feel inside is just like fucking numbness. Because if I allow myself to just... they're gonna destroy me, dude. 50%. What could happen in another 50%? School's almost done. At this point, I don't care what's canon or not canon. I can't escape it either way. What does Remus mean he can't stay at the Potters forever once he turns 17? He has 2, if not 3, incredibly rich friends. And if he spends one fucking day homeless, back to Murder Row, dude, I will beat their ass through this book. Just kidding. He's got an inheritance. Yeah, fucking, I knew he wouldn't always be poor. Still though, I want him to live with Sirius when this is done. Or maybe the 4 of them get a house together. That'd be fun. Last night when reading, Remus broke up with Sirius, and the next chapter is titled Separation. So I am reading in the sunlight today to lower the chances of self-harm. So the Sirius thing wasn't as sad as I thought it would be, but then Remus read the letter from his mom. I'm dead inside and I don't have a lot of commentary on that, but I will say that he better try and find this woman. Normally I'm very much in the camp of if she didn't want you, fuck him. But his muggle mom couldn't raise a werewolf. You know, I don't feel bad for that lady, but I think that Remus should meet her. He just came out to him. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. This book just... no lead up whatsoever. He's just sitting by a fire. I'm gay. I understand that this book isn't about me, but again, have a little compassion for my feelings. God, Lily handled that so well though. And I really hope that I handled that really well when my cousin came out to me a couple years back. I was the first one in the family to find out, which I take pride in. No pun intended, but I also think my cousin handled it a lot better than Remus did, so... I don't know whether to be appalled or just laugh at Sirius's stupidity. Remus comes out to everybody and Sirius, who has been aware of the situation, is like, you're gay? I wish you'd have told me first. I had no idea. Sirius, buddy, what do you think you two have been doing for a year? A whole year. So they're going out now, right? Sirius and Remus. And the thing is that I can't allow myself to be happy because that's not how this book works, as I've discovered 250,000 words in. That's a real number. And in a second, something's going to be taken from me. So there's no point being like, oh yes, everything's so good. Because it is good. For count to 30, right? I may have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. And I pay attention. Little fucking shithead Regulus and his shithead fucking Darkmark. I bet I've cussed a lot in these videos. I'm going to have to bleep some of those out. I told you guys, I don't know all the backstory of this stuff. I thought he ends up being a good guy. It's not looking very good for that. Sirius is going to tell James that he's, with Remus. And Remus goes, why now? Sirius shrugs. Something's got to give, and I'm mental about you. It's happening. Mrs. Potter is the sweetest woman alive. And if I have to read about her death, I swear to God, I'll drive to a rope store right now. James just found out about Remus and Sirius, and I hope it goes well. Lily goes, you're sure he feels the same way? Remus goes, yeah, I couldn't be sure. James hugged him, but I still don't know if he took it well. You know what I mean? Is a hug like, yeah, I'm still dealing with this, or is a hug like, nothing changed? All right, so I think it went well. James apparently asked Sirius first, what the fuck are you playing at? And you could take that as a bad thing, but I take it as James being protective of Remus. Like that maybe Sirius was only doing it because he learned that Remus was gay and was like experimenting. But then once he found out that like, oh no, Sirius actually is too, then the conversation got a lot better. Nothing beats how Peter found out. There's so much happening, and I feel bad for Marlene, and I'm starting to like Mary a lot because she knows all of the secrets and she doesn't tell anybody anything. But I'm worried because it's very clear that the war is just around the corner, and I'm not ready for that. It's like this book has an aura to it, and you can feel when it shifts, and the shift is currently happening towards a different kind of sadness. We haven't seen Severus in like 400 pages. Granted, there's been a lot going on, but is he up to something? It's the meanest fucking chapter I've ever read. Remus and Sirius get in the biggest fight they've ever had, and Sirius tells him to go fuck himself, which is like a really great way to handle shit. And then Remus gets a letter from his mom, and it's like, God, I want to go to bed. It's a Sunday night. I have work in the morning. If Remus's mom went on and had like a normal family without him, I'm done. Blacklist, out of my life forever. I'm having a really bad time. 17 years. 17 years he waited to have this conversation with her, and he didn't ask anything. He had better get to see her again. I won't. I can't handle it. I think the part that really destroyed me was when he wanted her to stop talking. Because I think we've all been there at some point in our life when we're talking to somebody and we're so hurt that like if they continue talking, we just don't know what to do with ourselves. And he felt that way about his mom. God, that fucking sucks. Sirius was gonna tell him that he loves him, and then fucking Mary comes out of nowhere, cock blocking my happiness. Oh, all right, out of nowhere he's seen his mom 6 times now, and like, this is gonna sound bad, but I'm kind of okay with her dying. I mean, the assumption was that she was going to die because that's how heartbreak happens in this book, but it's now in a place where Remus probably got what he wanted, and so if she dies, it's because he got to know his mom, and that's good. I feel like you guys think that I want this lady to die. I don't want her to die. I'm just saying it's okay for the emotional timeline if she dies now. If she has to die, it's the ideal time to die. Fuck Marlene. Your brother's a werewolf and Remus tries to help him and you tell him to stay away from your family? You were one of my favorites and you just stabbed me in the back. But not Madame Pomfrey. I would stab everybody in the world twice for that lady. She told Remus that she was proud of him. Just instant tears. This whole fucking book is just a waiting period till the next time you cry. I think Remus's commentary on the Quidditch final is maybe the highlight of this book so far, at least in terms of comedy. This story's a lot of fun because you see the beginnings of so many things that we see later on. Gilderoy Lockhart, for example, just tried to take Chris's memories, which I'm presuming is like the first time that he tries doing anything like that because it's not working very well. And it's also alluding that Gilderoy isn't gay, which means he's doing it to get a part of the group for notoriety, which we see later on that he will go to any lengths to get. Well, they just graduated school, so time to be sad, I guess. Peter's a rat, and a homophobe, and a bitch-ass rat, in case I forgot to mention it. It is really, really nice to see Grant get his shit together, and I don't care what his piece of shit grandfather says, I would die for that man. Yeah, his mom passed away, and they told each other they love each other, which is such a really nice and terrible time to do that. So Remus does his first full moon with the werewolves, right? And he gets done with it and he's just elated. He clearly loves this shit and wants to keep doing it, and he feels like these people are his family. And I'm crushed inside. I'm thinking if he leaves Sirius and the Potters and all that to go do this bullshit, right? And then the last line of the chapter, it says that he's the closest he's ever been to the thing that he's wanted since he was a child. And once again, I'm thinking, holy shit, he's talking about family. He's got a family. It's these people that surround him that aren't werewolves. And then it says getting close to Greyback so he can kill him. And it's like, fuck yeah, dude, we're back. I'm back to having a really bad time. Remus was freed like God knows how long ago, and he's just hanging out while Sirius has to be losing his fucking shit. Imagine if your partner disappeared for a month. Imagine if your partner disappeared for a month with a bunch of known murderers. Like, nothing? God, it's just going to be the world's biggest fight when he gets back to normalcy. If I've said it once, I've said it I got a new beanie. I've said it 1,000 times. This book just throws you into shit. Beginning of a chapter doesn't even show you what happened. It just says that Remus had to go to the funeral for James's parents. Hey, I liked them. I liked them quite a lot, actually. I would have liked to spend a little bit more time with them before they got dead. I would have liked a little bedside manner as it happened. Too much to ask for, though, I guess. It's just so fucking mean because we just found out that James and Lily are having a kid, and you're like, holy shit, that's Harry Potter. Like, this is so cool. I get to see his birth. And no, because it pulls you out of the reality, which is they're about to find out that they are a part of a prophecy where they die. It just doesn't matter how happy it is. So you don't get to enjoy it for more than 5 minutes before something wildly shitty rears its fucking head. Oh, look, more people dead, and I didn't get to hear anything about it. Ferrex this time, ripped to pieces. Is this how it's going to be for the rest of this thing? You're just going to take one person at a time and just drop it in and make me deal with it? The notes for summer 1981 says that this chapter includes the death of a key character, and I am not ready for what's about to happen. It was Marlene. I spent the whole time thinking it was going to be the Potters, and I just dreaded every fucking second of it. Because you know it's going to happen. It's not just going to happen. It's like, it's going to happen to Remus and Sirius, and it's going to happen because of Peter. Like, is it fucking necessary to end the Sirius and Remus relationship at the same time that the Potters get killed? Like, fucking hell, from an emotional standpoint, that really could have been split up. I don't know why I thought they'd get a chance to talk again. Remus thinks that Sirius did it. Like, he lost everyone in one night. How is it that even when you know what's going to happen, it still hurts? And I do really like Grant, but the niceness of that does not outweigh the shittiness of what is happening. Because if this is canon compliant, then he doesn't even end up with Grant. Fuck. Remus has lived 4 years thinking that the person he loves most in the world killed his best friends. How do you fucking live like that? And I know he learns eventually that that's not true, but it takes 15 years to get there. And 1, he's not going to be the same person when that time comes around. And 2, he's going to lose him again. There's 4% left in the book, and right now Remus and Grant are happy. Like, they're happy they just went to a gay bar for Remus's 31st. It's the first time he's ever been to one. He's being hit on by people. He grabs Grant's hand at the bar, and Grant's eyes light up because he never does that. And the end of the chapter gets around, and they go, hey, by the way, that was the last chapter of them living in bliss. Why? I'd have taken a non-canon compliant story. They could have just ended up together and like run off into the sunset. Is he just like not allowed to be happy? Is this like a rule of the universe that I don't understand? This fucking meeting between Dumbledore and Remus when he asked him to be a teacher. You can't see it right now, but I'm in the fetal position. It's just too much. Remus finds out that Sirius is broken out of Azkaban. Dumbledore compliments Sirius's ability to do so. Remus is kind of a jackass to Dumbledore, understandingly, and then he's offered a position to be a teacher. Capped off by, hey, by the way, Harry's at school. It's getting back into the known where you like definitively know what's going to happen. Oh, it's just too much. What is this bullshit? I don't care if Taylor Swift wrote it. I will track you down. Okay, I didn't love what I just read. The author made a note that they weren't going to really talk about anything from the 3rd book. They didn't want to rewrite scenes, and I get that. But this whole book is from Remus's perspective. It's not rewriting scenes, it's giving us what he went through. So we didn't see the first-person account of Remus getting to see Sirius again or any of that. And I'm just starting to question, like, are we going to see a reunion between the two? Because the way it's glossed over right now is it's just not hitting emotionally in the way that I expected from this book. Everything is different. Sirius is back living in the flat. It's so different, it's gut-wrenching. And there we go. We have now lost Grant. That was probably the most brutal breakup I have ever read in a book. It's done. And I'm not broken. I'm both happy about that and let down by it. If you've read this, you know she skipped over a lot of details at the end. And that feels rushed in a bad way. I have often complained about the lengths of fan fictions, but I would say here that this one needed to be 100,000 extra words to really hit home. So many of the details we got should not have been past tense. We should have been seeing them in the moment as it was happening with Remus. And ultimately, I still really like the ending. I like that it ended on a happy note and I didn't have to see a bunch of the other shit. And I'm not comparing the two, but if you watch my Manacled video where at the end I can barely speak, that's not me right now. I'm good. And all I'm pointing out is that that's surprising, but I'll touch more on that in my full review. For now, what I'm just really thankful for is that I got to see scenes where they hashed a bunch of stuff out and they came back together, and we know what happens after, but what is presumed in this is that they get about a year together happy, and that makes me happy, especially after all they went through. Thanks for joining.